On April 17th, 500 people joined together on the beach in Gulf Shores, Alabama, to celebrate the heroes of the Gulf oil spill. It was an evening of remembrance and moving forward, and of community coming together.
Hey, you done with the
What message you hope people take away from tonight's event?
That the seafood is wonderful, that the beaches are wonderful, and that basically everything is good.
Well, today is the day to look forward, but you can't look forward without remembering what we've all been through. And we've got to do a better job than we've done of holding the company that is responsible for this, and Mr. Feinberg and the GCCF responsible for fulfilling the promise that they made to us and they made to the country. And that was they would make us whole. You know, it was in the Oval Office when President Obama returned from visiting Orange Beach, Theodore, and Dauphin Island last June, when he announced that Mr. Feinberg would be named as the administrator of the Gulf Coast Claims Facility. At that time, many of us were hopeful because of his reputation in dealing with the 911 fund. But as Governor Bentley said, what Mr. Feinberg has done is not an accident. And while today's a celebration to look forward to better days tomorrow, this operation is a long way from fulfilling their promises to the American people and to the people of this coast. And so I think we all have to do a better job of making sure that the President, he said he didn't want BP to nickel and dime us to death. That's exactly what's happening. And so Senator Shelby, Senator Sessions, the entire delegation, our state legislators, our county commissioners, certainly the mayor, we're all committed to fulfilling the promise that BP and Mr. Feinberg and President Obama made over the last year.
Hello. Glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
How many kids do you have?
2 boys, Hunter and Ryder. Hunter is 14 and a half and all about wakeboarding and skimboarding and jet skiing. And Ryder's right behind him, but he's 5, so he doesn't really get to have all that same experience.
Well, this is a great thing. It's a great place to
it
raise
is.
kids.
You know, this is a great thing about Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. It really is a family-oriented vacation.
Well, the thing I like about it, when we go on vacation, we spend a lot of time in Mexico. We live in Northern California, close to the water, and it always has to be about, well, what am I going to get to cook? You know, is there going to be something in it for Dad? You know, what do I get out of it? And this is what it's always been great about coming down here, is the seafood that you get out of the Gulf. As a chef, I mean, the recipe can be great, the people you're cooking with can be great, the people you're cooking for can be great, but if the foundation of the food isn't great, that changes everything. And that's what I was worried about when this happened, when the disaster happened. But I will tell you this, the efforts you guys have made, and this is from an outsider just walking into it, learning about it, amen. Congratulations.
Well, you know,
very happy to see you.
Hey, this is Store Rep Donald with ThirdCoastCuisine.com. I'm here with Guy Fieri and Panini Pete. Can you tell us what was so important about coming down here?
Well, as a chef, to have great seafood. And some of the best seafood, as we all know, comes out of the Gulf. And there has to be a supply and a demand. And people have to demand. People have to want it. To have these families out there, these companies out there fishing and bringing in the fresh seafood. I think there's been a big scare about it. As you know, is it good? Is it at the standard that it was? And I came down hanging out with my buddy Panini Pete, who's a trained chef. I had to get it firsthand if it was. It sure is.
All right. And Pete, why was it important for you to have Guy come down here and help us out?
You know, just getting the word out. This whole area was devastated, not just ecologically, but the economy was just in the tank. And you know, people's perception is not the reality. And we really wanted to create this. This is just to get the message out. And who better to deliver that to the masses than a guy that's not a homer. You know, he's not from the area. He's nationally, internationally known. Where he get, and he's a foodie. He knows food. And to be able to bring him in, a guy that's genuine, that's honest, that's down to earth, but also has a huge audience, to be able to say, guys, you got to come down and experience this firsthand. You need to come down.
I'm looking forward to tasting it firsthand. Now, I was already down about 6 months ago shooting in Louisiana, and I was down there with Emerald, and we were talking to a bunch of chefs, and yeah, we all got to give each other, just like you, we got to give each other the inside line on what's happening. And I think the efforts and the participation that everybody's taken for the cleanup, for the awareness and the testing has just been fantastic. So I'm glad it's safe. I'm glad it's sound. I'm glad it's back. Looking forward to enjoying it.
And speaking of friends, you know, I had somebody I called, and Guy Fieri, and said, hey, we've got an event down here that would really use your support. And told him a little bit about it, and he said, well, I'm filming in New Jersey on Saturday night, and I'm filming in Virginia on Monday morning. So as I'm preparing for the I'd love to help you, but I can't, I get the, you know, it sounds like a great event, it sounds like a great cause, and I'd love to help you, so I'm going to shoehorn it in. And I say that not to impress you with the things that this guy does and the measures he goes to, but to impress upon you how important this is that we get the word out. You know, I said, I got a great beach. It's not a diner, it's not a drive, it's not a dive. It's a beautiful beach, and you really need to come down and check it out. And I mean, this guy is a great husband. He's a great father. He's a great restaurateur. There's so many things about this guy that you don't know. But by him being here tonight, I hope you'll learn a lot about what he's got here and how giving he is, and we can all learn from that. And with that, I just, you know, one thing I want to tell you, you know, though this event, we do aspire to make this an annual event, a big celebration, 2-3-day event. And, you know, 10 years from now, the South Beach Food and Wine just had their 10-year anniversary, and I'm sure there was a handful of people standing there saying, I remember year one when this was one event and one tent and one table, and you never get another chance to be at the first one, and this is it. So not only are you guys going to always remember that you were here, and 10 years from now when this is 3 days long and hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent in the economy here, I want you just to remember the message about how it started, why it started, and let's take care of our resources, let's celebrate what we have, and let's take care of each other. So we're going to kick it off now with my buddy, Guy Fieri. Please. Big, come on, you got more than that. This is Guy Fieri. Let's go. Let's go.
I felt like I was at a football rally, part eulogy, and a sales building mission. Big round of applause. You guys did a fantastic job. Thank you. It wasn't a real hard sell to get me here. I just didn't have any time, and literally we did an event last night. We were going to fly down last night, but little thunder lightning thing, and then somebody made a bad plane crash comment, and that was it. But we did make it down today, and the reason this wasn't a tough sell, one, Panini Pete, that's what we call him, is one of my best buds. We're getting ready to go on tour together. Two, I'm a huge fan of seafood. I don't know, we might have to have a standoff about who's a bigger fan of that. But it's about people coming together. And when there's a cause like we're all working towards, and you have done a tremendous job, and I can get a chance to come share that with people, well, I'm down for that. And we're going to eat? We're going to party? Come on. I'm just like everybody else. I live, not just like everybody else, but I live on the West Coast. I live in close to the ocean, like you folks. I understand how important it is to my business. I have restaurants out in that area. My business thrives on tourism and thrives on local economy. And when I heard the situation that you were all facing, you know, we heard about the serious incident that went down and how, I mean, just unbelievable. But look at the efforts you all put forward as a community, working with the government to make it happen. What I'm really surprised about is that we didn't get to hear about all that. Well, we heard about it, but we didn't know what the end result is. And when I come here and I start learning that the end result is you went 4 feet deep in the sand to clean it, when the end result is the whole community comes together, you got cleaner, the governor said you got cleaner beaches now than maybe you had before. that's a beautiful thing. I hate to see that it's a difficult situation that brings us all together, but that's our country. We get together, we stick together, and we make things happen.